Hello and welcome back to the 11 o'clock Waffle. We may have only been away for a fortnight, but there has been plenty happening out there in this crazy world of ours. First up, making his second consecutive appearance the day after he turned 23, back with a more positive outlook this time since the sacking of David Moyes, it's Steve Gibbard.
Steve!
Hey there everyone, nice to see you all, to see you nice.
How are you?
Yeah, pretty healthy, older, hopefully more wiser this time.
How does it feel to be turning 23?
About the same as it was turning 22, pretty pointless.
It does make you the baby of the panel today.
I expected this much.
Welcome back, Steve. Next up, making her first appearance of the season, it's everybody's favourite Norwegian, it's Maja Korbol.
Hey! Hello!
How are you?
I am doing very well, thank you. Norway's sunny and things, so it's good.
How are things over in Norway? I mean, obviously, it's the first time we've gone to that part of Europe since Russia's declared war on most of us.
Yeah, well, we had the day off today, so it was Labor Day, so that's nice, and the weather's been lovely. We haven't really noticed Russia that much. They haven't gotten to us yet, so it's all good. But we've got a conservative government now. Well, we have since September, so that's different from the last 8 years, I suppose. Yeah, we're good, I think, mostly.
Excellent. And now on to our final guest, who is no doubt still recovering from all the celebrations since the Cornish were granted the same status as the Irish, Scottish and Welsh. So welcome the incredibly Cornish Lucy Ahmed.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How does it feel to actually be a nation of Cornwallians?
I'm very proud to be Cornish right now. I'm glad that we've finally been recognised as the minority that we are, and that we finally got some sort of alliedness with like the Scots and the Welsh and the Irish a bit more, so that's kind of nice.
Just like most Scots, you've moved to England.
I have moved to England. It's probably because most of the English are in Cornwall.
Is Cornwall like the new sort of Costa del Sol now?
I think it might be. There's a lot of people sort of migrating down that way to live out their retirement in sort of a Cornish sun. Yeah.
Hasn't it always been like that, though?
It has a bit, but it's becoming more so recently. There's a lot more second home owners and a lot more touristy people at the moment.
That's how I was introduced to Cornwall when I moved down first time. It's like, this is our place in the sun, and this is where we go to holiday.
Yeah, it pretty much has been the same for quite a while, but yeah, most recently that's kind of been the main thing that's keeping Cornwall going, is the tourist industry.
Those be the guests. Let's have questions. Question 1. I Can't Sing, the parody musical That's Not a Statement by me, just for the listeners. I Can't Sing, the parody-based musical based on The X Factor, is to close 2 months after opening. I, for one, know of at least one person who's been to see it. I don't know if anybody else knows anybody.
No, not clear.
No, I haven't heard anything.
So, give me other examples of flops, and we'll go to Steve, the birthday boy.
Thank you. Well, I obviously, because this is like an X Factor thing, I thought, I remember 2 years ago, The Voice cancelled all 11 live shows due to lack of sales and tickets, and in which case they have not tried it again. It was on, I think, was it ITV or BBC, so I'm not sure why it didn't sell off, because it was quite popular, and I think it's a better show as opposed to The X Factor, but the whole 11 shows just were cancelled just because they couldn't sell enough tickets, and refunded every single person that bought a ticket.
Wow, that's a pretty big flop, especially how, obviously, the Voice does get quite a few million viewers.
Yeah.
I went with the musical theme, and the Rocky Horror Show, surprisingly, was a big flop when it was on in 1975. It had 45 performances. Tim Curry was the lead back then as well. He's not like he is it now, but, the film came along and it became a cult hit after, so it's quite interesting that it was a flop, or maybe not surprising at all. But I like it, so I chose it.
Okay, and Lucy.
Yeah, I noted the Rocky Horror Show, but I've actually got another Broadway show that was a flop back in 2012. Leap of Faith, which opened at St James's Theatre on the 26th of April. closed 19 performances later on May 13th, 2012. It's one of the fastest closing Broadway shows that they've had.
What was the plot?
I'm not entirely sure. It sounded like it was some sort of gospel-y type thing, but yeah, it just totally flopped. After 19 shows, they pulled it.
Pretty shocking. I mean, even Feckles manages to do both nights it's on.
Yeah.
Okay, question number 2 now. Barcelona fullback Dani Alves responded to a racist gesture when a banana was thrown at him during a game by eating the banana. It has since sparked a surge of fellow players and celebrities taking photographs of themselves with bananas. But what other protests against discrimination have there been? Lucy?
Okay, so it's a recent one, which is obviously to do with Russia and the Winter Olympics. Lush Cosmetics did the We Believe in Love campaign, which basically encouraged people to go into their shops and draw pink triangles on somewhere on their body, take a selfie, and then Twitter or Facebook using the hashtag Sign of Love to show support for the gay community in Russia. Actually, Emma and I both did this in our local Lush store. We took photos and put them on Twitter. And in that similar vein, there was also the Channel 4 Gay Mountain song, which was quite hilarious.
Yeah, sorry, Gay Mountain song?
Oh,
Might
it was like a
elaborate
parody
on that.
song. You might have to go and YouTube it later. It's hilarious.
Okay, we'll go to Steve next.
Well, there's always discrimination. There's so many answers, so many occasions. The battle of sexism, which has been going on since woman and man were two identities. Obviously the Thatcher era, where there were so many protests and stuff like that. And today, even still, there is sexism. Like, women still complain that they're being paid less in sports because they think they're just as equal as men. And it's mostly true. But it's one of those things that's always ongoing, and women comedians nowadays sort of make fun of it, poke fun at it, and make jokes themselves about it. So it's sort of healing over a little bit, but that's been ongoing for a while. And also the battle against religion, that's always ongoing. Religion at work, and obviously lately with this whole, women can't wear burqas at work or wherever in the local streets and whatever, which I think is a bit harsh because in fact it's their own religion. But I'm not the government.
Revelation of the day, Steve Gibbard is not the government.
Surprising. I tried my best, but they won't let me in. Apparently I'm too not cool.
We'll cross to Maja now.
Right. I thought of a type of protest that's actually been going on for, thousands of years, but it's happened on, occasions that warranted it. And it's women who basically deny men sex to get their rights, and it's happened quite recently. It's quite an effective way of protesting. Apparently, it works really well, and there have been women in America not too long ago who did this to protest the fact that they're trying to stop abortions and stuff. They're trying to, I can't remember what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about, right? So. Yes, they are protesting by denying men sex, and it works, and makes me kind of happy.
Right, before we move on to the next question, just to touch back on the bananas issue, I was having dinner with my mum last night, and during the middle of dinner she sat there and she went, I was listening to radio earlier, and do you know it's now racist to eat a banana? I went... No, it's racist to throw a banana. You could still eat the banana.
Oh dear.
That's wonderful.
Question 3 now. George Clooney is engaged to Amal Alamuddin, who he's been dating since October. Given that every mother's favourite bachelor is now off the market, who is his replacement as the best, most eligible bachelor in the world? Steve?
I was hoping you would ask me first. Oh, God. As a guy, I'm not one to pick bachelors. But no, I couldn't think of very many single hot actors, as you would put them. But I found Tom Hiddleston. He's a pretty bad guy, very good, very devious, very evil, and he could be quite a good bachelor. Alternatively, keeping it British, there's always...
British.
I know. That's what I mean, keeping it British. The British. God back. Pay attention. And anyway, I was thinking, James May, he's been rated as a bachelor recently, and, he could be, a lot of people might have the hoss with some fine wine.
James May, James Miller's biological father.
Oh, wow.
Okay, Maya, are you still fluttering at the thought of Tom Hiddleston?
Oh, we like Tom Hiddleston. Yeah, he's a good choice. But I was, of course, going to say Benedict Cumberbatch. And then I had to go and Google him, just still single. Turns out he's not. And that made me sad. So that ruined my day. And then I had to Google some more to find out who I could pick then, because Cumberbatch was taken, apparently. But I found out that Richard Armitage is single, probably, which makes me happy. So I might pick him. I have a couple other choices as well. I will say one more, Jamie Campbell-Bower. He's one of my favorites, and he's recently-ish turned single as well. So got two good ones there with the Cumberbatch being taken. So, yeah.
Okay, Lucy, who's left on your list now that David Tennant is in happily married bliss with children?
I know, and I mean, also you, Mac, you're taken too now, so I don't know. I was
blatant flattery to get.
It never works on this show.
I know it doesn't work. I was going to say Johnny Depp recently got divorced, and I think he's also recently split with the girl that he actually had the affair with. So Johnny Depp, of course.
But isn't he engaged?
I thought he'd recently split, or if they got back together again.
I hope they're split up, because that would be much more fun than him being engaged. But
Yeah, okay, well, if he's engaged, then he's off the market, so I'm going to have to go with my next choice, which is kind of a weird one. But obviously Prince Harry has recently split up with his girlfriend of 2 years, and, I wouldn't mind being royal for a few years, so yeah, I think Prince Harry is pretty eligible bachelor.
That's a very clever choice, Lucy. Should have thought of that. Could be a princess.
This was
Be
definitely
princess.
Time for the scores at the end of the first round. On 9 points at the back, it's Steve.
Ooh.
In second on 11, it's Lucy.
Woo!
And in the lead at the moment on 13, it's Maya.
Woo! Yay!
We should do a little shout out right now because Chris Stanley has done a best of the second series of the Waffle. So it's available in 2 parts online. So you can listen to that after you've listened to this show, of course. Question 4. Bernie Ecclestone has avoided a potential $1.2 billion tax bill by making a deal and paying just $10 million, according to evidence uncovered by Panorama. At the same time, he is also on trial in Germany, accused of bribery and corruption. Not that those two incidents are linked in any way. But what other examples are there of the rich getting out of a tight jam? Lucy.
Okay, this one's a bit of a serious one. It's Michael Jackson and the Jordan Chandler case, where he was accused of obviously sexually assaulting the young boy, and he paid off the Chandler family $22 million to settle out of court. The boy pretty much described his genitalia pretty much really accurately, to the point where he did some drawings, and they were pretty much what was there.
Well, was this Michael Jackson's genitalia?
Yeah, he actually drew like his genitalia, and like there was like marks and birthmarks and spots and things that the boy got correct, and they were in the right position and stuff.
I'm sure he could just draw a Ken doll.
No. He actually, like, this is one of the like worrying things about this particular case in '94 was the fact that he had actually drew all this, and it was accurate. There was pictures taken by the police of Michael Jackson's sort of like genitalia area, and yeah, they matched up. So that young lad probably had seen his penis at some point. But yeah, he paid $22 million to get out of the court case.
Still a lot of money though, isn't it? It's a small fee.
Yeah, I mean, that was back in '94, so I bet now you'd have had to pay a lot more to get out of that one.
What a lucky kid.
Steve now?
I was thinking of Donald Trump, massive billionaire, I think, in the USA. Just recently bought a golf course in your homeland, Mac, if you haven't seen.
Yeah.
But he had a few years ago, I can't remember the date, but he had a $14 million lawsuit against him for his university. Apparently it was a bit of a scam and delivering false promises to what was offered on his programs. And it was believed that Barack Obama was slightly involved. I think that case is still kind of ongoing. But as far as I'm aware, there's no sort of backlash on that. I think he may have gotten away with it, if I'm honest, if there is any scam there.
I believe Donald Trump's also the one that claims that Obama isn't American and he was born in Nigeria and he has proof to show the world, but he doesn't apparently have proof.
Yeah, he's very much against Barack Obama. So obviously this scandal was like, that's it, Barack Obama's on me again. I can't believe this guy from Africa. And it's like, calm down. This guy hasn't got a vendetta against you. He's running the country. I don't think he cares how much money you have.
Okay, and to Maja lastly.
Yeah, I found this case with a rich kid, who had driven drunk and hit and killed 3 people. And he didn't get off. He did get 10 years probation, but that's, not much for killing 3 people. But the reason for him getting off was that he has affluenza, which is, basically, this is a disease. I say this in quotation marks because it's, it makes, how do I explain it? Okay, his wealthy parents let him get away with everything, and therefore he doesn't have the conscience or the wits about him to avoid an accident like that. So basically he got off because he was rich and spoiled. Did you understand that? Because that was badly explained, but it's so stupid. Like, he did a reckless thing and then he got off, being reckless just because his parents were rich and apparently they spoiled him so much that he can't help it. That was the reason.
And that's an illness?
Oh, that's bad.
Apparently so. That's what his lawyers used as his defense.
Well, you can't use... I was going to say, you can't use that for poor. I'm so poor I went out killing. It doesn't work that way.
I know. But yeah, the judge apparently thought that this was a milder sentence. So
that is ridiculous.
We should also mention it was a question that would have been on the show had it run 2 weeks ago about there was a man in Britain, Maja, who he'd catch the train to London and he'd never bought a ticket and he got out of the system because he'd get to London and then just scan his Oyster card in for the Underground.
Oh, really?
And he dodged £42,000 of fines by settling out of court and paying $4,000.
Wow.
But because he remained anonymous, you can say whatever you like about this man who regularly sleeps with prostitutes.
The fact that he paid off all of that just so he didn't have his identity revealed just proves that he could afford to pay the train tickets in the first place.
No, but he paid $4,000. It should have been 42,000.
I thought he'd paid. I thought it was the other way around. He was meant to have paid 40,000 or something like that, and he ended up paying like half, like 20 or something.
No, he paid about $4,000 in the end.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Git. Question 5. Steven Spielberg is to direct a new adaptation of the BFG. Once again, Hollywood proving that there is nothing original out there to make. But what is your favourite word from the novel, Maja?
Well, as I said to you when I got these questions, I read this book in Norwegian, and it's been years and years. So I had no idea what to answer for this, but I went Googling, as I do, and I picked a word. I have no idea if it would be my favorite because I don't know all the other words from the book. But crocodile-dillies is my favorite word because it means crocodiles and it makes them sound like flowers instead of crocodiles.
It's so pretty.
It is. Crocodile-dillies. Sounds like lilies.
Lucy.
Daisies.
Okay, so yeah, I haven't read this book since I was like a kid, so I went Googling as well. But I did find one that I kind of liked, which was flush bunking, which is whipping a sibling with wet noodle.
That's amazing.
Flush bunking.
Flush bunking, yeah. Kind of sounds a little bit like swashbuckling, but better.
I'm going to go do a spot of flush bunking tonight.
Flush bunking.
I need to reread this book now.
I read it last year. And Steve, what's your favourite word from the BFG?
Well, like the previous two, I haven't read this book since I was a wee boy. But I went with gobblefunk. which in turn then, throughout the book, turned into Gorbal Thunking. So that got it for me. It basically just meant messing up a roundabout words, getting it all messed up and stuff like that, because he was trying to tell a story and the kid got it all wrong. So he said, stop Gorbal Thunking. And I'm there like, oh, hello. Harsh.
I like Snozcumber.
That's a very obvious one, though.
Yeah, that's the one we all know.
That's the one I remember. It's the one I remember the most, though. Snozcumber.
It's because you read it a year ago, god damn it.
Yeah. BFG goes for dinner with the Queen. I think don't most of the giants in it live in Norway, don't they? If I remember rightly.
Well, you know where
one from Norway.
Roald Dahl's parents are from Norway.
Yes.
Were from Norway. So yeah, we Norwegians have a great affinity for Roald Dahl. We like him. They go to Norway in The Witches as well.
Ah, yes.
Or actually, do they live in Norway and then go to England? No, it's the other way around. Yeah, they go to Norway.
The Witches is an incredibly dark ending for a children's book. They just set out on genocide.
Yep.
Yeah, it's quite a dark ending.
We're going to go out and kill all the witches.
Fairy tales in general are pretty dark.
Yeah, that's true. Children like to be scared.
It's true. They read the books with a flashlight.
And they like it when the bad guys really get it, you know?
Yeah.
The bad guys really hurt at the end. It's good.
Question number 6 now. There is a new film to be made of Dad's Army. Given that films based upon TV series is not a new thing, what other examples are there of TV shows that were given the big screen treatment? Maya?
I have chosen Firefly. It's an awesome series and they managed to get cancelled after one season, which was so bad. But then they finished the story with a film called Serenity and it was good.
It's such a good film.
It's brilliant.
Steve next.
I went with a more childish kind of view on it because there's been so many TV programs made from children's like shows, such as The Magic Roundabout, Pink Panther, Garfield, Top Cat, and so on. And then for like a more modern twist, The In-Betweeners, which started off as a series, which also became a film, which are now doing a second film, which a lot of people aren't really rating. But yeah, I thought it was a children's sort of thing, like Magic Roundabout. I thought that was quite amazing how they managed to turn that into a film.
Magic Roundabout film is awesome.
Is it really bad that I really love the Magic Roundabout film?
Robbie Williams voices Dougal.
That's awesome. It is. They couldn't get a better cast for it, really.
Ian McKellen is Zebedee.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah,
Kylie Minogue's in it as well, isn't she?
Kylie Minogue plays the girl.
Yeah.
So I wonder how did the Magic Roundabout pull that off?
Okay, and Lucy, last.
Okay, I'm going to go with The Muppets. That was a TV show. And then obviously there's The Muppets Treasure Island, Christmas Carol, the recent Muppet film, all the Muppet films basically. Because I was going to mention The In-Betweeners, but that's already been said. And there is a couple of examples I had of really, really shit films that have been turned, like good TV shows that have been turned into like really bad films, such as like Sex and the City. And obviously the Doctor Who 1996 film. I have a soft spot for it, but it wasn't as good as the TV series.
McGann's awesome in it, the rest of it.
The rest of it is just, nah.
Has anybody seen the Sweeney film they made a few years back with Ray Winston and Plan B?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I heard about it,
Yeah.
It's alright until sort of the third act where somehow Ray Winston gets sent straight to jail, does not pass go, does not collect £200, gets put straight into jail, but then they find out some evidence, so he just gets released from jail and can go chasing after them straight away.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
Sounds awful.
It has a really bad final act. And also, Ray Winston, much younger leading lady.
Of course.
There's an image for your heads.
Oh.
Oh.
And of course, it's always the way that, older actor always can get a younger leading actress as a love interest. How else are you going to get people interested in the film?
Well, was it Jason Statham's with that Plymouth girl that did the Transformers in the third film? Can't remember her name.
Rosie Huntington Whiteley.
Yeah, who's like 22. Something stupid like that. Yeah, she's really young in comparison to Jason Statham, who's like 40-something.
Yeah.
Time for the scores now. On 20 points. Doing very well there after that last answer. It's Steve.
Thank you.
On 23, it's Lucy. And 24 points to Maya.
Yay! Still in the lead. Whoop.
Question 7 now. A dig in New Mexico has uncovered a cache of Atari games cartridges. Amongst them a load of ET ones, I believe. So in a twist, what game would you bury in the desert, Lucy?
If it's because I don't like these games, it's kind of going to be things like Candy Crush and Angry Birds that are just everywhere, annoying and pointless. If I'm playing a video game, though, I want a plot, I want a storyline, I want a reason why I'm playing it, not just to throw birds at pigs. It's just and Candy Crush as well. It's just so annoying. Everyone is playing it, and there's always those Facebook updates of so and so has matched these ones. It's like, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, nobody else send me a Candy Crush request on Facebook. I ain't playing.
I know, gets so many Candy Crush requests, and I'm like, no.
Although you need to get your wife playing Doctor Who Legacy again, because it's got graphics and fancy things in it now.
I'll tell her, I'll let her know that she needs to get playing the Doctor Who Legacy game.
It's got graphics.
It's got graphics.
It's got graphics.
Okay, Lucy. Not Lucy, Maya.
Yeah, Lucy said what I was going to say, really, because I couldn't think of any games I would bury because I didn't like them, because computer games and video games that I have played, I haven't really gotten sick of, and I don't know what I think of the ones I haven't played, so the
I'll
only
give
thing
you
I was
10
gonna
points if you say Dark Matter Hudakai.
I won't say that. That would be really mean. I haven't played it yet. I'm sorry, Ed, but I haven't. But I will, and it's Ed's, so we won't.
Yes, everybody downloads Ed's game, Dark Matter Hudakai.
Everybody downloads Ed's game, and don't go burying it in the desert. No, so I was going to say Candy Crush Saga as well, but now that's been said. But another reason why you should hate that game is because there was a guy who made a game just like it first, and then the people who made Candy Crush just stole his entire idea and never gave him credit and never gave him any money for it, and it was mean. But other than that, I'd say Farmville, maybe.
Oh, God, Farmville.
I'm so done with Farmville. I used to be hooked, but...
Okay, and Steve last.
Well, I mean, we've touched on the main ones, I guess. I can't think of any other good Android ones, but I think going to console games as opposed to just Android applications, I think FIFA, not because I dislike it, but because of the pure irritation, and Mac will agree with me, the amount of people I've seen online and whatever that have gone 20 shots on goals, 17 on target, scored no goals and concede a 90th minute goal and then break their TV, break their TV stand, break the PlayStation, break the disc, break the remote control. And I think that game should be buried because too many people who think they're really good at that game get too irritated too quickly. It's one of those things. It's it's a good game, but I think people need to stop taking it too seriously.
It also offers you unrealistic expectations of players. I mean, I scored a hat-trick with Roberto Soldado.
Well, they were penalties?
No, they were open play.
Oh, wow.
And
Definitely unrealistic.
Like Man United this year, rated 5 stars.
I can't deduct points from you. That's cheeky. Which will be 4.5 next season.
4.5 probably. Okay, final question now. It was revealed this week that Ed Miliband can do a Rubik's Cube in 90 seconds. So what can you do in the same amount of time, Steve?
Other than the obvious, like make some toast, make a coffee, or even make myself an alcoholic cocktail. One of the skills I have is I'm a pool league player, and I probably would be able to clear a pool table in that same amount of time, which probably would be more productive and skillful, if I'm honest.
Okay, Maya.
Yeah, I couldn't come up with anything apart from making a cup of tea in this one. So, because I'm not that creative today.
You're not stewing the tea bag long enough.
You're
not stewing the tea bag long enough if you're doing it in 90
you
seconds.
need more than 1.5 minutes to put the tea bag in, seriously.
Yeah, but you've got to stew it to get all the good stuff out of
Not
it.
for that long. You'll get horrible bitter tea then if you do that. And it depends what kind of tea. Like green tea, you can have it in just for a couple seconds and take it out, and then it's good. Because you don't want too much, because then it will get bitter.
lived off green tea in New York because it was what was in the hostel.
Mm. But of course, I can't count the actual boiling of the water in this because that would probably take more than 1.5 minutes. So, yeah, I don't even know if I could make tea in that time.
Over to Lucy. Lucy, what can you pull off in 90 seconds?
I couldn't think of an interesting answer to this. And to be honest, the only thing I wanted to say, I've been told I'm not allowed to. So I'm just going to say I can make crumpets in 90 seconds. And, you know, good old toasting crumpets and giving them a bit of butter. Yeah.
Is everybody else picturing
British
the word crumpets with inverted commas?
I'm not saying anything else.
Basically, what we can do in 90 minutes is make breakfast. 90 seconds, I mean.
Yeah, breakfast.
That's what we all can do in 90 seconds.
God, you wait around for breakfast a while in Norway if it's 90 minutes.
I changed it to seconds. I just said wrong the first time.
So before we enter the final round, the scores as they stand, 28 points each. It's Steve and Maja.
Hey.
Narrowly ahead on 29. Lucy's crept into the lead.
Woo!
So as we enter the final round, our guests will have to present a news headline, followed by the summary of the story. As you should all know by now, it'll either be true or false. And then points will be given out awardingly. So, Lucy, as you're in the lead, what's the running order to be?
Steve first, then Maja, then me.
Okie doke. So, Steve, what is your news headline and story?
Leading supermarket to sell fruit that tastes like bubblegum. Basically, it's a fruit that looks like a strawberry but tastes like bubblegum. It's as sweet as it sounds.
Sounds amazing.
Couldn't think of it myself.
Okay, Maja?
McDonald's sued for $1.5 million by a customer who wanted more than one napkin. And basically this guy is complaining that he suffered undue mental anguish after he was given just one napkin. He had an argument with manager, who apparently was very rude, and he asked the manager if it was because he was black, and he replied something about you people, and this turned into a lawsuit.
America.
They'll sue anything. Okay, and Lucy, lastly.
Okay, Pornhub wants to give America wood, literally. Basically, there's a porn company in America who's offering to donate some money to a Plant the Tree organisation. They don't actually have an organisation in mind yet. For every 100 videos viewed in their big dick category, they're going to plant a tree.
So that explains why you were half an hour late onto the show.
Maybe.
Surely just to pay for the trees. Think of the trees, girls.
Right, okay, so let's go to Maja. Do you think Steve's fruit bubblegum is true or false?
False.
Okay, and Lucy, what do you feel?
I'll go with true.
Okay, so the McDonald's sued over the £1.5 million napkin. Steve?
I want to say it's true. I really do, but I think it's false. I think it's false.
Okay, Lucy?
False.
And Pornhub wants to give America wood. Steve?
True.
Maja?
True.
Okay, so leading supermarket to sell fruit that tastes like bubblegum. Is that true or false, Steve?
It is true. Waitrose actually are going to sell it, and it does look like strawberries. It's amazing. I can't wait. I'm going to buy it.
Okay, what fruit is it?
It's called the bubbleberry.
Bubbleberry. Oh, that sounds like
wow.
It's the best.
something at Pokemon.
Bubbleberry, I choose you. It's awesome. I can't wait.
Okay, McDonald's sued for 1.5 million over napkin. Maya, is that true or false?
That is true, actually.
Okay, so both Steve and Lucy went false there, so that's good news for Maya, scoring crucial points. And lastly, Lucy, does Pornhub want to give America wood?
Yes, they do. Yeah, that's true. It's actually the second time that they've tried to do a charitable thing. They were doing something for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, where they were giving 1 cent for every 30 videos viewed on their big tits or small tits categories, but the charity actually turned down the money.
Still fun.
Wow. And how much money did you raise through viewing that, Lucy?
I don't know, 50 cents?
How many trees are you planning to invest in? Is the other question.
2.
2.
That's 200 videos.
Does the size of the penis correlate to the tree you get? So that makes for another very tight end to the show. The final scores as they stand, on 32 points each, it's Maya and Steve.
Whoop whoop.
But this week's winner narrowly ahead on 33, it's Lucy.
Woo!
Yay! Well done, Lucy.
Thank you. Woo!
That's it, that's a bit of a twist. 2 on the trot after last year's performance.
I know, I'm trying to claw back some dignity by being good this year. So
Is it the Bristolian airs working?
yeah, it's that English air giving me some creative thoughts.
Okay, before we end this week's show, Bob Hoskins has died this week, who I'm sure everybody here has seen Roger Rabbit and knows what a great film it is. He's also in Long Good Friday and Hook, where he played Shmi. So
Yeah.
after listening to the show, Chris Stanley's done the best of, remember, on YouTube, the best of the second series. I'm sure he'll do a best of the first series as well. Thank you to my guests this week, Lucy Ahmed,
Yay, I won.
Maja
Thanks.
Korbol,
Thanks for having me.
and Steve Gibbard, the new 23-year-old.
Always a pleasure.
We'll be back next week, and hopefully we will have Carla back, as she has now got her new house in London.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll
Yay for new houses.
finally be able to get Ed or James back. James, I understand, has been on late shifts the last couple of weeks. So that's all for this week's show. Have a wonderful bank holiday weekend, and may the 4th be with you.
Oh,
Yay.
bye all.
May the 4th on Monday. So
Yeah. It's a good one.
yeah.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye-bye.